This is your boy Chili Willie, ECW original, everybody's favorite homeboy. And yo, you need to check out the Big Fight.
This is Liam McGarry, and welcome to the Big Fight Weekly.
Welcome to Powerful.
We're here, mate. We're here.
Big Fight Weekly episode.
Stuart's lost.
I'm lost. Got me.
Yeah, we got you. I'll
okay.
do it. Welcome to Big Fight Weekly, episode 32. Fury versus Wilder 3 is the main talking point today. It's good to see you, Stu. How's it going?
All good, mate. All good. As I was going to say, a huge weekend in the boxing. We're going to do Fury versus Wilder 2 firstly, and then we're going to jump into the MMA results of the weekend. Bellator, Page versus Lima. UFC Fight Night as well, Chris, headlined by Thiago Santos. And he obviously won. But yeah, boxing first and foremost. It's the big topic of the week. And on Saturday evening, we finally get it, Chris, after COVID in the camp, and it was rescheduled. We are back on. Do you want to roll to the VT with Wilder first? Because I know we've given Fury a lot of time in terms of video interviews over the last month or so. So I think maybe head in with Wilder's thoughts, because a lot of it's, centered around Fury. But Wilder's actually speaking now after being on mute at the conference.
But he had the headphones in, though, didn't he? Right, I'll quick to the VT. Everyone enjoy.
No, exactly. They asked Tyson Fury about that fight as well, and he said that you're the most dangerous heavyweight out there. You beat both of them, and the only man you can't beat, obviously, he's going to say is him.
Well, I've already knocked him out once before. I'm sure he replays that in his head over and over again. That's why he's so brave to say that I'm the most dangerous man in the world and different things like that, because I am. It's true facts. My famous quote is, guys have to be perfect for 12 rounds with me. I don't have to be perfect for 2 seconds. And then it's bam, baby, good night. And when you have devastating power, God given, you're always gonna be the leader of the pack. We've seen many guys. Some people say skills, but that's just a broken record, because we've seen many guys with skills and they still lost. But when you have power, you're never out of a fight, ever. You can.
Who's he actually fought? Who's he actually fought though prior to Fury?
Well,
so it's all in good 2 seconds, 12 rounds, this, that, and the other. I'm still not with this whole thing.
I get his point though. Power is one of those things where, when you've got power, you can finish your man, no matter how technical, how good they are at boxing, because it only takes one punch. You see it in the UFC, you see it in all sorts of different combat sports. Power does nullify quite a lot of things, because you only have to use it at one time, where, if you're a skilled boxer like Fury and you don't have as much knockout power, you do have to put a bit more effort in. I get what he's saying there, but what I don't understand is like, as you say, that the level of competition he's fought. He's not ever fought anyone like Tyson Fury, and that's a statement. He never has, right? And the 2 fights he's had with Tyson Fury, he's lost both of them. Yes, okay, he nearly knocked Tyson out in the first fight, but let's be honest, Tyson was in control of that fight, and he was complete control in the second fight. I'm a bit worried of his mindset, because I still think Tyson is like a widescreen TV inside his head at the moment, and he can't look anywhere other than seeing Tyson.
You're cutting it now, by the way. It's all right. Carry on.
You know what?
You're all right now.
I blame Facebook. But no, I'm just saying, Tyson is in his head. But, Wilder has got that one-punch knockout. You have seen it throughout his career. You have seen him, decimate people with the right and the left because he's equally as good power in both. I just can't see him doing what he thinks he can do to Tyson. And I just think Tyson does what he does, and he does it fantastically.
I think it's just all this about his physique as well. He's put muscle on and all that. He's still only got the one thing, the punch power. It's all in good, isn't it? It's all good. And I'm still maintaining it now. Mentally, he's voicing himself now after being on mute at the press conference a couple of months ago. He's now starting to come out and say things. But, when them two, size each other up the night before, what's he going to be like then? What Wilder are we going to see? Because we have had the big onus on Fury, haven't we, over the last couple of months building this one up. So I'm just trying to work out some different ways with Wilder.
Wilder can only do it one way. Wilder's never going to outbox Tyson Fury. Wilder can only knock you out. I don't know, because he's changed trainers, hasn't he, since they last fought. I don't know what they've drilled into him, but I think he's a natural knockout artist. And I think it's always going to revert back to your brain, isn't it, to be that knockout artist. He's never going to be a technical fighter. He's never going to have that fight IQ like Tyson Fury, but he has that dangerous punch, and that's the thing that's going to be on the mind of Fury. No matter what Fury says, I still think Fury's going to do what he does best, and think Fury, I think it'll be a bit more difficult this time around than in the last fight, but I think Fury will still win this fight quite comfortably, because Fury's just, like I say, his IQ and his technical boxing is out this world. Him and Usyk are just leading that line of technical boxers.
And we will see, Saturday, Sunday for us here in the UK early hours. But yeah, Chris, I reckon it's time to roll to Fury's latest comments. And this is courtesy of Behind the Gloves, who do some great content as well.
Yeah, they do. I'll roll it now, mate.
Just let him know that he's not safe anywhere, because we've got people in high places. And all of his team are on the payroll by me anyway.
Do you feel the same way that he feels, in the sense that he really wants to hurt you? Do you feel the exact same way? Like, is this as much of a grudge match for you?
Not really.
No?
It's just another fight with another idiot. Well, he's the biggest dosser of all, the biggest fool of all, so he can have a good hiding on Saturday night. Mm-hmm. A grudge match. What have I got to grudge the guy about? I beat him twice. Mm-hmm. This is the third fight. Third payday of somebody I've already beaten twice. What's to grudge?
When he was silent at the press conference, what did you make of his silence? What did you make of the whole sort of charade?
I didn't make anything of it, because no matter what Deontay Wilder says or does, it's not going to make my performance any different at all. Whether he says anything, it's just sticks and stones, like rain coming down onto a duck that's already waterproof and it just runs off it. So, it's not really an issue for me. Whatever he says it's none of my concern.
Bob Arum, gotta love Bob. Bob said that, I quote, I can't see, he's talking about Muhammad Ali, competing with a 6'9" guy like Fury. What do you make of him making the comments?
Went on a bit too long, that's my fault. Yeah,
Fine.
I think there's obviously people comparing him to Muhammad Ali. I'm sure he would have poo-pooed that, being put on that pedestal, even Fury.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, prior to that, the clip could have been longer. Obviously, we like to keep the clip short. He's saying, he was asked actually, are you going to go 20 pounds heavier for the fight? And he left that kind of open-ended. He does say that he can get up to 300 pounds, not a problem, and he can still move around the ring. If he does put the weight on Chris, I think he might be able to stop him quicker than in the second fight. That would be my, that's the obvious thing to think. If he does go up from like 270, 280, what are your thoughts on that? If he does put the weight on, could be a problem. Could that be a problem in your mind?
I think, right. Yeah, but it possibly could. But I think you're looking at someone that's probably gone and put that weight on and probably tried it out as an outfit in a boxing ring and gone 12 rounds, with people just to see how he would feel. If he feels comfortable, I trust wholeheartedly that Tyson Fury could go to 300 and still beat Deontay Wilder. There is obviously factors where you can say, well, maybe it could cause an issue because, you're putting a lot of that sort of muscle fat on that, in the later rounds you could tire. And he does put a lot of output on. Tyson Fury. His strikes and his jabs and his hooks, his body shots. Obviously your foot movement, your head movement. Holding that sort of weight can sort of slow you down eventually. But if, like I say, if he's tried it out and gone and tried, 12 rounds, 300 pounds on him, then if he feels comfortable, yeah. But then at the same time, he's the master of mind games. So he could be saying this just to sort of, play Wilder up in his head, and then he's thinking about, oh God, hold on, I may be this big physique guy, and I'm ripped and shredded, but this guy's 300 pounds, and last time he was heavy to me, he beat me. So I can see what he's doing at the same time. Like I say, there's pros and cons of being heavy. Look at Joshua against Usyk. He had to cut the weight to be better, to be faster and try and be at the same level. Tyson Fury, again, is a better boxer. So depends on, like I say, if he's playing mind games or he's actually going to do it. But it doesn't matter what Tyson Fury weighs. He still beats Deontay Wilder on the weekend. Unless, obviously, Deontay Wilder can, send a rocket up his arse and knock him out properly.
Which would then take us to a 4 fight, which we haven't seen many 4 fights, have we? Imagine they've got to book a 4 fight because Fury was plotting his course just a couple of weeks ago, what he planned on doing next off the back of it. Say Wilder does get the KO, it begs the question then that it will be into a 4th match, and then it's going to throw the scheduling off for everyone else. Well, surely now they're going to be looking at Usyk. But they're going to have to be, aren't they?
Yeah, well, obviously, because that's the fight to make now. Everyone wants to see Usyk and Tyson Fury fight. I think that's the sort of fight I get excited for. That's something I'd actually stay up for. I'm an MMA guy. You're the boxing guy, but I'd happily stay up and watch Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. But before we crack on, move on with everything else, let's go to some comments, Stu.
Pete Layton, he was with us last week commenting. Hi, how's it going, Pete? How are you? Me and Chris love the comments. Thank you, mate, for joining us again. Fury seems very confident ahead of this fight. John Fury said Tyson would give Dillian an opportunity after. Now AJ is out of the picture. So, yeah, he's WBC mandatory. So maybe we wouldn't have the unification bout. He deserves it. We've said this for months.
I totally agree.
How many years is he mandatory? He lost the mandatory.
When
he lost to Povetkin, he's got it back. He's done everything. That lad deserves a shot. It's another huge UK bout. We'd want to see him fight in the UK as well. I know Fury's been branding out in America in more recent times, but they've got to get these fights made in the UK, Chris.
Well, it makes more sense, obviously, I think if push come to shove, they probably wanted Joshua and Fury in the UK, but we were going for a pandemic and money is better elsewhere, isn't it, at the time? But yeah, Dillian White, and if Tyson Fury can beat Wilder on the weekend, makes sense. It makes sense to me. We'll move on anyway.
I wouldn't even give him Wilder. I wouldn't even do Wilder versus Dillian White. I think he goes straight in.
Yeah, if he's mandatory, isn't he? So
he's got to. Sorry, Chris. Move on. Hello, Brett. You've been with us from the get-go from episode 1. Mike Tyson is aiming to secure his latest bout after making his return to boxing, and he has fixed his sights on fighting Logan Paul. I say no chance. He's getting split with 100 mil. Needs to be 80-20 split.
Shoot. Well, that one's for you.
You can answer.
Because
you're more in tune with the polls than I am. So he's saying an 80-20 when you're coming up against the man, the legend.
80-20 to Logan Paul now, is this Brett? I'm not sure about that. I know Logan Paul's a big, it's a big draw, and but Mike Tyson's a legend. I don't think he even got an 80-20, a 50-50 split with Floyd Mayweather, did he, when they fought? No, I mean, do you want Logan Paul with Mike Tyson? Because Mike Tyson looks to me, he can still throw a shot. I'm not sure if that's the right way to go for Logan Paul, if I'm honest.
Steve Mumpin, been with us like the last month, I think, watching this. Thank you. Thanks again.
Cheers,
Chris,
Steve,
appreciate you. We appreciate you all. Steve, fantastic. How, gents, basically, Tyson wins this trilogy and will still be unbeaten. How far off is he in being the greatest heavyweights of all time? I know Ali is a legend. Lennox is also a great hand.
Yeah, he's got a followed-on question here.
Yeah, I thought so. I give a little break there. Lewis versus Tyson would have been something in both prime, but I don't see AJ having anything near what he would need to be to beat Fury. I make a case that Wilder has more chance, even with just one shot.
Yeah, I think Wilder hits harder than Joshua, if I'm personally honest, mate.
He's got to, and also Joshua will get hit as well. That's the problem. He's not elusive. And Rachel Cornell.
Welcome back, Rachel.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Rachel. Welcome back. Corey Williams. You have to do a YouTube video every time a certain time hits.
Okay.
You can elaborate on that if you want, Corey. Me and Chris a bit like...
That'd be quite helpful.
Explain. It's fine though, mate. Just explain what you meant. That's cool.
Big Rob.
Hello, Ramel. Ramel, you and Chris need to do a watch along as well.
We will.
The big UFC cards next month, definitely. Good evening, my guys. Hello, mate. From the Philippines, up late there as always. Dan, Terra Sports Inc. as well. We've had you on quite a bit on me recently. Afternoon, everyone. Hello, Dan. Pleasure.
He's got a followed up question for you.
Tyson going to win within 6 rounds. And my mate Sam Knight, he said the same. He's on the same trajectory as you with the.
It's very possible. It's very possible.
And if he's not messing about with the weight and he's putting the weight on, I can see it being over before then, maybe the 4th. Jack Morton, who I work with, young lad there, local to us in North Wales. Hello, Jack. All good, mate. All good. Ramel, I think it's going to be the same. I don't see anything Wilder would do to beat Tyson. And Ramel knows his boxing as he knows his MMA. So, yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I'm with you. You're well-versed. Your knowledge, your analysis of the fight's fantastic. Hello, Lewis, all the way from Falkirk. What's your prediction, Lewis, for the fight?
Yeah, good to know.
Have you got a round? Do you think it'll be KO? Will it go all 12? It won't go all 12, but you never know. Dan Terry Sporting, great show. No, thanks,
Dan, mate. Cheers,
me
mate.
And Chris, this is why me and Chris do it. We do it for you guys as much as ourselves. Kangaroo Jack, the funny thing is, it only takes Wilder one punch, so he's got a chance. It's always there. It's always there. And he's bulked out, so maybe they have worked on more power. Tyson Fury now is clearly number 1 heavyweight in the world. Alexander versus Fury would be great. Chess match, both slip boxes. Yeah,
100% agree. 100% agree.
Total where it's they can both, they both do the same. They're very slick, good head movement. They can land. They got power, bit of everything. Brett Thomas, Tyson is relevant anymore. Isn't relevant anymore. I think you were saying there. Yeah. So yeah.
I definitely. Hold on, one more. Kangaroo Jack's back here.
Kangaroo Jack, is there a joining link, fellas? Does it mean like subscribing to it?
If you're watching on Powered 4, you can go on their channel and subscribe. But if you go on the page you're watching us at the moment, I sent loads of links down on the Snopus bit, so you can join our page on Facebook. It's all on there, mate. It's all on the link.
We're on Twitch. If you're a Twitch user as well, we are there. Chris will be uploading stuff onto there as well. So if you like Twitch, that's your channel. Fury KO in the first round.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big call. It's a big call.
Get some money on that, Lewis, because if that comes in, there'll be good odds on that. I think you'll get a decent odds on it. Ramel, Tyson might not be relevant anymore. Just don't get hit by that tank. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's in his 50s. He's still a killer now.
Yeah, but they always say, it no matter what combat sports, it's the power that's last to go. And
Absolutely.
when he was fighting Ray Jones Jr., it was an exhibition and he went knocking people out. His punches were still coming in, and they
Roy was brilliant as well, considering their age. It was brilliant. It was so good.
You don't lose it. You just get older, don't you?
Out of the fights that we've seen in that, ex boxers getting in there, that was all right. I was fine with that.
As long as it's not Vander Holyfield. No, we've caught up, mate.
Right, into Chris's wheelhouse, because I know he's going to have a lot to say about this. And we had Bellator in London two nights, Chris, as well, because the boxing was at the SSE at Wembley the following night as well. So London had a lot of action, didn't it? But back to Bellator, Michael Venom Page avenges his loss from 2.5 years ago. Slender split decision victory, Chris. Douglas Lima, on the other hand, has now had 3 defeats. I've read and I've seen some bits online, Chris. Some people had
in a row. Yeah, he's on a 3-fight losing skid, and shit's frozen again.
No, I'm here.
Yeah, let's be honest, mate. I know. Don't you worry, pal.
I'm not dropping out.
Is it me that's dropping out? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's you. I think it's
But
you.
you're dropping out of mine.
It might
I
be your connection. I think. Anyway, back to it, Chris.
Whatever.
Also, Douglas Lima. A lot of people had it. I know it was split, so obviously one of the judges had him. A lot of people said it was 29-28 Lima, but was it the two punches, the two knockdowns in that first round that have seen him through?
There was three knockdowns. He had three knockdowns.
Right, okay.
No, not in the first round. Anyway, listen. Watch the fight back. If any of you think that Lima won the fight, it's a very close fight. So in hindsight, you could go either way with it. But I thought, MVP did what he had to do. Yeah, he lost the third round. Douglas Lima controlled that on the ground, but he didn't do too much. You see the difference with MVP. He doesn't have much of an escape route when he's on the ground. And I think he does need to work on his sort of takedown defense and be getting from the bottom to the top. But he's got big hands. And if you watch the fight and the first fight, he holds on to Douglas Lima's hands. He's got massive hands as MVP. So he controls the sort of in the guard. But obviously he did get connected. He did get hit with elbows and punches when Douglas Lima stacked him up when he was on top of him. But we'll go back to the first round. Listen, the first round was quite even. The first knockdown by MVP to Lima was like 30 seconds into the fight. But I think what people don't realize, if you watch it and slow it down, the punch comes into Lima's chest, so he's going backwards because of MVP's sort of movement. Because MVP's got in there like a bullet, hasn't he? But the punch actually lands on Lima's chest. So Lima's chest he's obviously pushed back by that. Then the second round is the most telling. There was the leg kicks, the high kick that caught Douglas Lima around the side of the head. He dropped him again, but he switched it up. So when he rushed in for his 1-2, he went in with the elbow across the side of the head. He wasn't connecting Douglas Lima in the face when he's rushing in for the 1-2s. He was coming in around the side, but the leg kicks were telling as well. And Douglas Lima's got some really nasty leg kicks. But MVP, when he hit his leg kicks on Douglas Lima, you could tell that Douglas Lima was really struggling with those inside leg kicks, throughout the whole fight. But the first and the second round are the most telling.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first round you've got to look at. Okay, Lima had him down from the 2 minute mark and continued the fight on the ground. But MVP had a knockdown, even though I wouldn't say it was a knockdown per se. But the judges will see it as a knockdown. The second round, MVP controlled the whole fight. He knocked down again Douglas Lima with the same 1-2, rushed in 1-2, bang, dropped Lima. Didn't get in the third round, but obviously Lima was more wise, took him down, controlled the whole fight. Then easily Lima's fight. I think it would be 2-1 MVP personally myself. I just think Lima's had a lot of losses. I think his confidence is shot because that wasn't really the same sort of Lima I've seen before in the past for Bellator. MVP, you could see that he wanted it more. Like I say, he was fast. His kicks have always been good as MVP's kicks because he's so unorthodox. It's like that karate stance where he's coming on the side. He's coming in on the side. Yeah.
I had that in my notes. It's good to see, makes him free, he can get the kicks away. I love that. I love when someone comes in an orthodox way, as you've just said.
Like Stephen Thompson's pretty much similar, but I don't think he's as fast as MVP.
No,
better kickboxer than MVP, but MVP can show a lot of range, a different set of skills. He came in with a straight-handed jab and he completely rocked Lima. Didn't knock him on the ground, but he wobbled his head a bit. It's a close decision, and I can see why people would argue Lima, and I can see why people would argue MVP. But watching it back, and I watched it back today, and I sat there and I slowed it down, paused it, and just to see what the arguments for and against were. MVP won the first round, just pure because of that knockdown. He controlled the second round, and obviously Lima then controlled the third round, and that's the unanimous decision, 28-29 to MVP. He moves on now to, and arguably, I say a title shot. I can't remember what the name.
Amosov,
yeah, and Amosov,
yeah,
and he is but he's a ground specialist. So if MVP struggles on the floor with Lima, he's going to have to really sort that out before he fights him.
This is what I've been reading. It's a bad fight, but he's got to go for it, Chris. He's beating Lima now. You never know. If he can. He's got to try and stop him and not get taken down.
If he wants to be in the UFC, and he has stated before he'd like to dip his toe in the UFC, I think welterweight division, if he jumped in now, would be extremely difficult for MVP, because obviously we have so many good wrestlers in that division. But if he wants to make that big boom, and I think Bellator would cry for MVP to be their champion because he's such a marketable character. Do you know what I mean? So I think Bellator will be like, please win the title. They could make so much money off MVP.
It poses the question, doesn't it, going forward? Definitely. We've got more comments, have we, Chris?
Well, mate, we're flowing in.
Here we go. That's what we like.
Hold on. I'll go to where we are. There we go.
Floyd must have lost it then.
He always loses his money, Brett. That's why he keeps coming back for fights.
Afternoon, gents. Samuel Knight. He's a wrestling fan as well. He's a good friend from the Pro Wrestling League fandom crew. And he's also stated a 6th round stoppage for Fury on Saturday, Sunday. Yeah,
a few of that.
Sam's of the opinion it'll go 6 and it's Fury's in the 6th. Nice one, Sam. Ramel, I recall one interview to Timothy Bradley. Yeah, I do. I think, Fury, it was to do with Fury and Wilder. Timothy Bradley has in the recent days. Good afternoon, lads. Powered 4 TV, John, Scott, and Rich Crow here. Thank you very much, lads.
And I've never dropped out. You dropped out.
Yeah, that's you. Just keep going.
Fine.
No one is dropping out on the live feed. StreamYard fixes it, but the hosts see dropouts. Yeah, so we just carry on, Chris, regardless.
It's all good, mate.
Ramel, I've seen an interview to Timothy Bradley it's to do with Fury and Wilder. He would trade all those techniques just to have that kind of power. Wilder, I agree. Even on the 12 rounds, if it goes there, he's still a threat. Yeah.
I totally agree. But puncher's chance, isn't it? In that hindsight,
Fury knows full well. He said he's the most fearsome puncher. No one knows it.
And I agree. Yeah, and I agree. He is.
Watch that match. It was close to call. It would go either way. Great fight, by the way, but it's still a right call, Chris. So obviously saying about MVP and Lima.
No, it was close, but like I say, you've got arguments for MVP and you've got arguments for Lima. It's one of them. As again, we're referring back to what Dana White always says: never leave leave it in the hands of the judges because you don't know what they're going to come up with. So it is one of them.
Rambo, hello, Rambo. How are you? How's it going? I haven't seen you for a while, mate. Hope you're well. Hi, John. Hi, Stu and Chris. Been loving all the wrestling coming back in events on Power 4, Catch and TNT. Been amazing. Yeah, Catch is up and running now as well. Another upstart in the UK. Yeah, so good to see TNT. He's had loads of events as Jay and the team. Samuel Knight. Yeah, me and Sam spoke about this earlier today, but yeah, I'll read this out now. What do you guys think for this weekend? Do you think the extra weight on Fury would be a positive or a negative for him when it comes to mobility and getting around the quick knockout? I think 20 pounds is nothing. Due to the fact that he's 6'9", I think he can put it on. Like you said, Chris, he's got the right people behind him, nutrition people, sports science, and all that.
Yeah.
They'd be telling him if he couldn't put it on, they'd be saying, "Do not put it on." If it, decreased his head movement, his speed.
100%. I think it's a case again. Like I said to you when we spoke about this a bit earlier on. He would have tried it all out. If he was thinking about going to £300, I'm surely he would have got to £300, many months ago, done 12 rounds, see how he felt. I mean, he's not stupid, is he? Or like I say, it could be a mind game. You know how he likes his mind game and he's a masterful at it.
Honest beyond reasonable. Hello. Hi, John. Saw you and Jeff Simon and Alex McCarthy at O2 a few weeks back. Yeah, WWE were in town for London. So, yeah, John and Jess were down there for Sports Keeda. So they did coverage down there because Power 4 TV have obviously got WWE Media. So, yeah, that was nice that you met. But then Brett Thomas, Mike Tyson was big in the 90s and the 2000s, but he will have to split it correctly. Logan will show heart and desire again to win the fight. 90s, definitely, but then he obviously had his prison sentence, and the 2000s, he was past his best. He was fighting people like Julius Francis, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean?
But he's he'd still knock someone out though.
If he'd have fought Lewis earlier than 2002, let's just say, look at it hypothetically, I think he might have had a better chance.
Yeah, okay.
It's just two. I think, personally, my opinion, he just had too much stuff going on, and the prison sentence didn't help him, did it? But fantastic fighter, one of the best ever. Hands down.
100%, 100%,
hands down. I love Tyson.
And I'll say this, Brett. If Logan and Mike Tyson were to fight, and Mike Tyson hits Logan flush, good night. Get him a pillow. But I love you, Brett.
That as well. Yeah, we both love you, mate. But yeah, I'd like to see Logan or Jake get knocked the fuck out.
Okay, so we'll move on.
Thiago Santos in a 5-round decision victory over Johnny Walker, Chris. I can't believe how tall Johnny Walker is. I'd never noticed he was 6'6".
He's a big dude, isn't he?
He's big for light heavyweight, Chris. But yeah, straight into your thoughts of this one, because I know you've got quite a bit to say on this.
I broke it down in 4 sections. It was a very tentative first round. I think they're feeling each other out. Other than that, it was quite a boring fight. Santos hit some really good leg kicks in the second round, the third round, the fourth round, the fifth round. Didn't do much for Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker was quite annoying me because he was sort of showboating around, not really getting anything off. Santos did hit him clean twice in the fifth round with overhanded right, which was really nice. Johnny Walker ate it. It was really uneventful. For 2 guys, I would have thought, and I said to this here last week, I thought it'd be a third round KO for Santos. Just didn't seem that they really wanted to let go. That they were both sort of frightened of each other. If I let go and I go for this punch, he's going to hit me with this. It seemed very tentative. Santos has called out Yuri Prochazka. I worry for him in that because
that's not good. What little we've seen of him, where he picks his angles and all that, yeah, and he's totally different to everyone else. That's a bad match. Thiago's not in the right, is he, headspace to where he was,
after John Jones fight. No, because he destroyed his leg, didn't he?
That's a nasty fight. That's a nasty fight. I won't be calling him out at the moment.
I think for myself, Yuri Prochazka is next in line after Blachowicz and Chisora. He's next in line, and I worry for whoever wins that fight has to fight him because he's dominating at the moment.
Another European coming through as well, which is great.
Rough as hell. Right, well, do you want me to go and put the VT on?
Fire at Thiago, courtesy of Fan-Sided MMA. Let's not get copyright struck this week.
I think actually, Stu, what I've just realised. Oh no, hold on. I'm all right. I think
perhaps not the crazy fight we were expecting, but how do you feel after 5 rounds with Johnny Walker?
I feel good. It's not always we can finish fight. I tried, but he's a tough guy. He's big, but he moves. He's fast. Try to do my best, but anyway, I won that fight. No question about that.
Was his movement a little bit surprising to you, or did you know he was going to move and just had to take a little bit of time to figure out where he was going next?
Yeah, like I told you, I'm surprised how fast is he. He's big. I fought against John. John is big too, but he a little bit slow than him. He's big, but he's fast, explosive. It's making me so sharp. I did everything what I trained for, and yeah, everything good.
I think in the 5th round you hit him with a left hand very, very hard. Were you surprised he was able to stay in there? Because it's very rare we see someone like you hit someone and they stay conscious.
Yeah, and like I told you, not always, but he felt, I saw in his eyes, he was scared about my hand, yeah.
I also think he was quite scared of Johnny Walker's hand personally as well. Though he did obviously come a bit harder in the 5th round and tried to finish it, but it wasn't like hell for leather. Did, as they did say, he caught him with a hell of a good overhanded right that caught Johnny Walker, but Johnny Walker ate it, and carried on fighting. But with Johnny Walker he needs to stop showboating. He's going like this and like that, and it's like, you want to get somewhere in this division, you need to put your foot down, bite that mouthpiece, and go.
He's not at the disco, is he? Rolling his hands around. What was he doing? What was that? Just rein it in. You're in the elite promotion in the world of MMA and combat sports. Like,
really frustrating.
Why does he not just channel it into what he's doing?
I'm not sure, and he's been out for 12 months as well because he had an injury. I think he had a leg injury himself. So he's been training, knowing he's had this fight coming up, but it was really boring. For 2 guys I thought would have been and gone for it and tried to go for the knockout, it wasn't very good. We got some more comments from Brett.
Oh, brilliant. When you see Danny Williams beat him and steal Orton Legend killer gimmick, Tyson can't beat Logan. That's what I was saying. The latter portion of his career was just like he was in it too long. But you try and tell Mike Tyson to retire.
Danny Williams is a boxer, though, Brett. Logan Paul is not really a boxer, is he? But yeah. But, your opinion, of course.
Absolutely.
Keep them coming.
It's what keeps us rolling, the opinions. Ramel, Hart and win the fight, yes, until he get hit in the face. Woodley almost KO'd him. Imagine Tyson hit him.
Wrong Paul, brother, that, Ron. You're talking about Jake Paul. Brett's talking about Logan Paul.
Got a bit of collective action going on. Almost gave up on watching Santos Walker fight. Mad respect to those two, but that was a boring match. Yeah, I looked at the SIG strikes from them, and it was low. The significant strikes on both sides were very low. That was alarmingly low for two guys that like to, strike.
Bang.
It was low. That's drastically low. And what you want more output, make it more exciting. But as you said,
I'm missing the crowd. I'm missing the crowd as well, though, because when you watch that fight back, it just didn't feel the same.
Why are they still? Here's one for you. Why are they still running at the apex when they can do the arenas? If they're doing that, they don't need to now. Surely.
No, well, fight nights you were in front of a crowd before coronavirus came in, so I don't know. Maybe it's just easy and suitable at the moment for them to be keeping the apex. But it is what it is. But I kept on hearing a woman scream when I was watching that fight, and it was doing my fucking head in.
I was going to say something, but I better not. I'll let Chris will know what I'm alluding to there. The light heavyweight champion might have been around. Anyway, Brett Thomas, former light heavyweight champion. Brett Thomas, Jake Paul would definitely smash him. Are
we talking about Mike Tyson?
He wants Jake as well. Put them both in there with him. Put Logan and Jake both in there, and just let him go off. Yeah, just let him go. Wind him up.
You're going to turn it into a tickle fight, and they're all going to start hitting him with pillows. And no. I don't want to see that.
What happened to Eubank Jr. Rambo? Yeah, I can tell you what happened there. COVID. No, not COVID, actually. The other guy who came in, who replaced the LB, can't remember his name now. He wasn't physically right for the fight. So the guy they brought in wasn't ready. So obviously had a replacement. I can't think of the guy's name now. But anyway, Eubank Jr. will be back next month. I've read over the last 24 hours that the fight will be happening. Don't know which opponent it'll be. But yeah, the boxing board of control were just like, the guy can't fight Eubank Jr. So they obviously looked at it. I don't know if it was weight cutting.
Safety first, isn't it? It's got to be safety first.
And, Eubank Jr. could, hurt a lot of people. So maybe it was a good thing that it didn't happen if he wasn't right physically and mentally. Samuel Knight. So if Fury beats Wilder this weekend, how do you think he gets on against Usyk? He made a fool of Tony Bellew and Anthony Joshua. I personally think he's the only heavyweight out there who could take Tyson Fury. It's a good shout, Sam. Off the back of what we've seen, I still think I've got Fury. I just think
I don't. Yeah, I understand I don't think he made a fool of Tony Bellew. I think Tony Bellew was doing really well in the rounds until obviously he got mentally tied, didn't he? And he got caught by Usyk and he got knocked out. Anthony Joshua, I would agree, he made him make a look a fool. But Anthony Joshua, I think Anthony Joshua didn't prepare well for Usyk at all. Regards to Fury and Usyk, I think it's a compelling fight because, like I said, it's IQ versus IQ, isn't it? In the boxing and the technical side of things. I just don't know where, you've got to look at Usyk and you've got to look at Fury. Fury, as you say, can put 300 pounds, doesn't have to be ripped, but can use his weight to his advantage, really bully the smaller guy. It's going to be an interesting fight if so does happen.
It's got to happen because this is what it's bringing. It's bringing all this opinion out now, isn't it? So it will, hopefully in the next 12, 18 months, that fight gets made. Rambo, that screaming was almost as annoying as Snoop Dogg. Give me my another effing money. I won't use the expletive there. I think I've used an expletive earlier on. So I just...
what? You're timing how many times you swear now? Do you just swear, Joe?
Rain. I'm just worried after copyright infringement. I'm worried the powers that be YouTube will give us another slap on the wrist.
Don't know what you're worrying about the copyright infringement. Like we fought the law and we won. It was only the YouTube beat us.
You should have led in with Joe Strummer in the clash. That should be.
I should have run.
I fought the law and the law won.
Yeah,
but yeah,
copyright this.
Have we got anything else, mate? Jake Paul smashed Mike Tyson. No probs. He's in his prime, right, Brett? You love the Pauls, as we say, week in, week out. You are a staunch Paul fan. That's fine. Also, what happened to that Ruiz Mexican geezer? I haven't seen him since AJ fight. He's coming. He's coming. He's in the best physical shape.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
sure
cut a lot of weight, hasn't he? He's cut a lot of weight.
He'll be about. There's a lot of fights here in heavyweight division. We forget about Ruiz Jr. No, he's a good fight for anybody. You can swear, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I swore earlier. I was just being careful, John or Rich, whoever's
you
I think
fucking
it's
idiots,
John.
aren't you?
There we go. Yeah, well, yeah, that's it now. Expletives are plenty. Ramel, I believe Fury beats Usyk. One mistake Joshua made in the fight, he didn't outmuscle the smaller guy and tried to outbox the master boxer. Yeah, he should have been like leaning on him a bit more, using the weight.
Yeah,
I agree. All right, he's probably thinking then, right, he's going to hit me a bit more. He's going to get inside if I'm leaning on him. But yeah, maybe he should have done. He didn't throw enough punches.
I don't think he did.
He didn't throw enough. His output just wasn't there. I was expecting more. I think he based it on those first two fights that Usyk had, but Usyk saved his best for this one. So
yeah, most
definitely
definitely did.
Maybe they've concentrated on them two fights rather than they should have been looking at his cruiser bouts as well as wait, right, Chris.
Unfortunately,
now,
I've got my bearer of bad news here, mate.
What's happened?
I put the wrong video up.
It's all right. It's all right. We can go off. I can remember bits from what you said. You can obviously analyze the fight, which you do fantastically anyway. So yeah, we'll start off with your analysis of this. It was a clash of heads that led to the DQ draw. Daukaus had put the choke in on him. We've then got the commotion outside. The refs are talking. I like that. I like that they were all mic'd up and they're trying to work out, maybe they should do that with the judges.
Can you imagine that?
Just sometimes you just see a piece of paper and a result. But anyway, Chris, what did you think with this? A DQ draw in the end for Kevin Holland. The clash of heads was nasty. He took the brunt of that. So yeah, your thoughts on Kevin Holland? He's ranked 14th. Daukaus, I didn't know too much about him, but yeah, your thoughts on the fight. We'll get to you.
Well, it's hard to sort of analyze the fight because it didn't really last long. Let's be completely honest. I thought Kevin Holland looked better with his takedown defense up against the cage. Okay, Durkis isn't really a fantastic grappler like he's fought the Vettori and Derek Brunson. They're notorious for their grappling side, but he looked a lot better. So maybe going to train in with Daniel Cormier and Khabib up in AKA in San Fran, it seems to have worked with him. It's hard to sort of, like I say again, to sort of break down the fight because I didn't see much because they clashed heads. No. It looked like when they clashed head, Kevin Holland was out before when he hit the ground, and then obviously sprung back up. And then obviously Durkis was trying to get him in all sorts of rays of submissions. He got his back, and it was a really well executed rear naked choke from the back. Put his weight on Kevin Holland, forced him downwards, and then choked him. You could see in Kevin Holland's face that he wasn't enjoying that one.
Daukaus still had to fight, didn't he? You couldn't have just left him grounded, thinking, right, this is going to a draw. No. In Daukaus' defense,
he wouldn't have known. He wouldn't have known at the time.
You've got to try. He had to do it, didn't he? Because he had to carry on, regardless. Because if they hadn't done that, but I think Dan Murgliata and listening to her being outside, it was well dealt with, wasn't it? They were getting each other's opinion.
Yeah, but
I like that.
They called for the radio. They called for the radio. Herb Dean. As soon as they clashed heads, if you watch, he put his finger out.
Yeah.
So he's already called for the replay. So if they think and go into the second round, or like say if a finish happens in that fight, they've got the replay there. But hey, don't forget now, Kevin Holland's been a hero the last couple of days. He stopped the guy from robbing a car.
I saw when I was trying to get some bits and bobs today online on it. Brilliant. Do you know what? The character, it's as you've said, and you listen to DC, he could hear DC cage side, and he could hear everything. My supersonic hearing, I can hear it all. I can even hear DC. I can hear my corner. I can hear the fans that what little fans were there. But he's just a character.
He was making me laugh. Yeah.
You want him to do well, and there's been a few bumps in the road. Do you think there'll be a rematch with Daukaus?
I think so.
Will they get back in? And
I think
hopefully, mate. I like the guy. You brought him to my attention more so. Touting him. He's got all the tools, Chris, as you've said.
He has.
They all
take down defense, mate. It's the takedown defense.
Yeah.
He needs to work on that. I'll give you, before we move on, I'll give you one good line. I thought it was funny. When Durkis had up against the cage, and Durkis was underneath his armpit, and he was just sort of trying to raise Holland. And Daniel Cormier says in the commentary booth, and he goes, "Durkis is really long, isn't he?" And Kevin Holland turns around, and he's like, he's trying to defend a takedown, and he turns around, and he's like, "Yeah, he is really long." And I just you know what I mean? That's the sort of character he is. You know what I mean? There's no bullshit there. But yeah, we'll go into the promo for Powered 4 if you like.
Absolutely. Here's what Powered 4 have got on offer, and we will have a special code for the on-demand, a free code at the other side of this. Chris is going to hit the VT, the promo video for what's on offer with Powered4.tv. What an array of content on Powered4.tv. And Chris is going to fire up a banner now. If you use in caps the code FB down, as you can see there, after yesterday's social media meltdown, we've tied it in, John and Rich. But yeah, FB down, you get a free month of content, and then it would be $7.99 thereafter. Built-in media, as you see there, lots of WWE content now. The best, the cream of the crop in UK wrestling talent, American talent, including Chicagoland Wrestling. So yeah, so much good stuff. John and Rich have done a fantastic job with the on-demand, and yeah, everything's chaptered as well. Each match and stuff, so it's easy. It's very accessible. I recommend it. I highly recommend getting it. And yeah, use the code below. And Chris, are we moving on to the boxing?
Hold on, pal.
I think I know what you're pulling up. I think I know what you're pulling up here.
You can also you can. I will do now, but you can also find us on Powered 4 TV as well. All our episodes, they're all uploaded. You can start from the very beginning, make your way through to where we are currently, see the development of me and Stuart as we go along.
Absolutely, I forgot there. I thought I was getting something else, which I'm going to get now.
You are going to get that now.
Yeah. You should be worried about copyright infringement, the cap and glasses Stu. Yeah, Jurgen Klopp saying that. He's had them lasered now, Sam. Thank God. This has always been my shtick, the cap and glasses. But these aren't Oakleys like he used to wear. But yeah, at least he's had the laser surgery now, Klopp. Doesn't need the glasses.
He can get back to shoveling that soil before, can't he, Klopp?
So are we ready to talk about David Avanesian's European title defense? A fantastic performance, Chris, against, again, UK fighter in Liam Taylor, but just a step too far. I felt a fantastic performance from Avanesian. To be fair to Taylor, he did have a go. He landed. He's knocked out 11 of his 23 victories, but British level, absolutely. When you're coming into European world level, there's just a difference. And Avanesian was fantastic. He's so spiteful, powerful, and he's called out Pacquiao's conqueror, the guy who's now retired, Pacquiao. The news we had last week, Ugas. But yeah, Chris, what did you feel with Avanesian's performance?
You know what? I loved both fights, both fighters, because again, it's another one of these fights you've thrown at me to look at for the show. And again, they're both fighting on the inside. And I just find when boxers do that, it's such beautiful work because there's so much technical sort of strikes going in when you're both fighting from the inside. The body shots were from Avasayan were just unbelievable. But it was suffocating, wasn't he, Taylor, with the pressure. And you could see Taylor was trying to create space. He was trying to hit him with the 1-2s, try and circle him. But the pressure of Avasayan was just, constant.
It was a fantastic performance. It was good. Also, it was the second night of combat sports. Wembley Arena, what a job that is, having Bellator on the Friday, which I thought was a Saturday when I put our post out, and I was like, hold on a minute. But that was good. Just going back to that, having 2 nights of MMA and boxing. That's fantastic.
I was watching that in the pub, actually, mate.
Were you?
Yeah, I was down the road as I was watching it off the phone. That was quite good, that, to be honest with you. Do more of that.
Avanesian as well, which I didn't know. A bit of background here. I didn't know. We'd obviously seen him against Josh Kelly earlier in the year. Where he was fantastic. 6-round knockout, big, huge win. He's training over here. Now he's from the south of Russia. He's got Armenian in him as well, but he's got a UK promotional team and his trainers, from here as well. So I think that's quite interesting. I think I'll get a lot of UK people, looking for him to do well now, won't it, Chris?
He looked fantastic in this fight, and he needs to step up and give him a bigger opponent. But from what I saw, the 2 fights that I've watched since we started this show with Avasayan, he looked prime and ready for the next step.
He's world level, not a question. So powerful and fantastic, Chris. And then we're going to now move on, and we're going to preview a huge night of boxing, the Battle of Liverpool, as its former super welterweight champion Liam Smith of the famous Smith boxing family, all 4 lads have boxed, taking on another Liverpudlian and former Olympian Anthony Fowler. And Chris, I'm looking forward to this one. The M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool, where there will be 10,000, and nothing says it more than a domestic battle and having 2 people from the same city fighting. And Smith said quite a lot of stuff about Fowler. He's just saying he can't hang with him. It's going to be a long night for Fowler if he starts to try and trade with him. And Liam Smith is off the back of a loss as well himself. Fowler has been on a tear, domestically, European level. But I'm veering towards Liam Smith. He's fought Canelo. All right, he got stopped by Canelo, but he's had the bigger fights. He's got a lot of experience. He's been a world champion, Chris. He's used to big nights. I can't see past him. Anthony Fowler's good, but I don't think he's like world level good. That Liam Smith, he's been down those tracks. He's been down those tracks before.
Well, with regards to being a champion, obviously, you have that experience of a fight that was not being a title challenger or even held a belt. So you've got all that experience. More than I do. I've seen Anthony Fowler a few months ago when we covered him, and he looked really good. So I haven't seen this other guy. It's a shame that both Liverpudlians. So let's just hope they both knock each other out. No fairness.
What was Wayne Rooney saying, Chris? Did you say he's got some bits about?
He said obviously he's going to be there, and it's good that Liverpool have got 2 battles of 2 Scousers, and he thinks that Smith's going to win.
It's just
that was it really.
He lost to Mergenov, I think his name was. He lost that. He wasn't expected to lose it, but the other guy was undefeated, and he went to Russia to fight him. Did Liam Smith? But I just feel he's had more fights, and he's had elite fights throughout his career. And super welter, 154 pounds. This might lead to a world title tilt. This fight for the winner. But possibly. Fowler might do something. You never know. It's boxing, but I think with the bookies, they'll have Liam heavy favourite because of his his career and his record. Brett Thomas, you will see me on all the BFW episodes too. Yeah, absolutely.
You will, mate.
He's right. We always have you on, man. It's a pleasure.
Always, Tyler T.
Isaac. All right, Isaac. He's watching with his daughter today. My mate from Norwich. I can't wait to catch up with you, mate. Actually, we need to hopefully later in the year. Yeah, he's good pal. Don't forget, everyone, use code FB down, all in caps, and get 1 month free on powerful.tv. So John and Rich reiterating there, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. There's so many wrestling shows now here in the UK since, post-COVID. Well, we're still in COVID, but yeah, there's a lot more content coming. The WWE media side as well. And ourselves, as Chris said, Big Fight Weekly, it's all up there for your viewing and listening pleasure. Chris, are we leading in to UFC Fight Night? Dern versus Rodriguez, Chris. So, take the lead on this one.
From looking at the odds today, actually, mate, they've got Dern. Les Dern, sorry. They've got her as favourite over Rodriguez in the odds. Bit surprised by that personally, mate. Rodriguez beat Waterson in the last fight. And Waterson, as we all know, the karate hottie, really good. She's fought some of the best, but she sounded her out. We know that Mackenzie Dern beat Nina Nunes, Amanda Nunes' wife. She had a long layoff anyway, because obviously they had a kid, didn't they? So it's one of them. But Mackenzie Dern is a ferocious jiu-jitsu practitioner. The only problem is I was looking at percentages of takedown percentages and takedown defense percentages, and Dern has a 10% takedown. That's like when she gets someone down, she's only have a 10% ratio of taking someone down. Rodriguez has got a 62% takedown defense. So it's quite tight here. So if Dern can't take her down, Rodriguez has got knockout power for days. She's 14-1. Like I say, she's been in there with some of the best. Dern's obviously learning her trade because she was out for quite a while, but she's quite new into MMA itself. Like I say, she's a massive jiu-jitsu practitioner. She's very good on the ground, and absolutely amazing on the ground. But Rodriguez can, she can bang, and she's beaten some of the best. She's beaten Tisha Torres.
She's been around for many years.
She's fought Claudia Cadella. She's fought.
It's a roll call.
She's fought some really good fighters.
That is a roll call. So you're saying her experience and the caliber of opponents she's faced. You don't know how things can go. Dern could take Rodriguez down and submit it. You don't know, but when you're looking at her percentage of taking someone down is only 10%, and so Rodriguez is stopping that at 62. It just sort of thinking where's the balance here, because if Dern's not going to want to go strike for strike for Rodriguez, obviously Rodriguez would want that over being taken down and having a grappling fest. So I got to sway towards Rodriguez here, and if you're betting, I think Rodriguez is a really good bet over Dern. Who else we got on the card, Chris? Is there anything on the card there?
Tim Elliott's fighting. I think he's facing a newcomer. But other than that, no, the card's quite quiet this week. Obviously, because we're building up to 267 and 268, which I don't know if you guys know if you follow UFC. They're back to back, and not ever do we ever have a numbered UFC events back to back. So there's so much going on in a UFC. There's a lot of fight nights, this month leading to Jan Blachowicz versus Glover Teixeira in Abu Dhabi. But then we've got the big one, Kamaru Usman versus Kobe Covington.
I was watching the preview that they put up, that small 2.5 minute clip. I think it's like 5-6 days ago. Watched it yesterday, Chris. They showed Covington. They were showing Covington when he got those shots through. But obviously,
but this is what I was telling you about.
Let's just remember Covington. As much as I don't like the guy personally, in there, he had some success, didn't he? It's a brutal stoppage, but
you get your jaw broken, don't you? But listen, Usman's come on so much since they last fought, and the knockouts he's had. Masvidal, Gilbert Burns. You're talking about two guys who are very good at, more Masvidal than Gilbert Burns when it comes to striking, but he's managed to knock them both out, and he did it devastatingly. I just, you don't like Kobe, so I know you're like, knock him out, please, Usman.
I appreciate him as a fighter. I know he's got the credentials. I tell you what I did like, actually, as much as I don't like his loud mouth antics. When Usman was doing the workout thing, maybe in one of the casinos there, and he had the megaphone, and he's hurling abuse at him. That was the first time I hadn't seen that when they had, previous.
It's going to cut you quickly short.
Cut me.
Just super sick from Brett, £1.79. Thank you very much, Brett. We do appreciate that, mate.
John and Rich will appreciate that as well, as do we. Thank you very much for that, Brett. We appreciate the super sticker, bro. Have you heard they are doing director's cut of Rocky 4 film? He means, yeah. I had seen they're going to add more of that bloody robot scenes in it with that really odd relationship with Paulie. What was going on? I don't know, but they obviously feel they can make some money. They can make.
I don't know. I didn't know they were doing that.
I'd seen a post. I'd seen a post actually about that. To be fair to Brett. My guys, Stu and Chris, no, we appreciate it, mate. You've been brilliant.
Cheers, mate. We do appreciate it.
Week in, week out, goes without saying. Stewie John Palmer, share the Powered 4 TV sub info on PWEF, Pro Wrestling Fandom. Fantastic group, by the way. Absolutely brilliant. I'm sure there'll be people interested, especially some of those from the UK who don't watch anything other than the top US promotions. Yeah, we'll keep that in mind. I'll run it past Adam, who runs the page as well. Absolutely. Heels rules. Evander Fury has gone from stride to stride, hasn't he? As a rookie, I remember he used to hang about with Paddy, the well-known traveller. So there we go.
Listen, everything's sort of set up, isn't it, for this fight? We're obviously on closing now. We'll close on Tyson Fury and Wilder, Stuart, because we haven't actually given a prediction either of us in this fight, really. We've said Fury's going to win, but we haven't really, I want like round or how
round
far
4
away.
I'm going round 4. I really think he's going to just. How'd you come back from that KO in the second fight? Like, how'd you come back from that? I don't care about all this physically and all that. I think mentally, he had him. I'd say in the first fight, he had him mentally, but obviously he managed to land on him. He put him down. He put him down twice, didn't he? I just feel he's going to be more emphatic. I think he's really going to want to finish this rivalry feud off. Brett again. Brett's
no. It's not. It's not. I just want to show it off because
okay.
we're thankful for Brett. So I want to keep that up there for
banner.
him.
Keep it as a headline, as a banner. Yeah, no, thank you. But yeah, 4th round, Chris. KO.
4th round.
He's going to do it more emphatically than he did in the second round, which was amazing. I wonder if Wilder will be wearing a headpiece this time, which weighs 40 pounds. Yeah. That was one of the silly, pathetic, appalling excuses he had after the fight. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a lot of excuses, wasn't there? A lot of slant of the crap. Basically, I'm going to go for round. I'm going for round 5 and 6. So with the guys that have said 6 today, I'm sort of leaning towards round 6, but round 5, round 6 for me. I'm going for a stoppage as well.
We're all on the same.
I'm not going to. I'm not counting Wilder out with that one punch, though, because that one punch can change it.
This is why we put a clip in of Wilder today, because we've been very heavy on the Fury's come up. We've got to give the guy, you've got to give the guy some airtime as well, because he's talking a little bit more now leading up to it. Evander Fury, round 9, heels rules. Fury, round 4. So me and Pete Layton are on the same wavelength on rounds, but we're all going for the Fury stops. Brett, you the man. Yeah, there you go, Brett Thomas. Ramel respects you.
Ramel, before we sign off, Ramel, actually, what's your prediction for the fight this weekend? Just do it quickly. But yeah, I'm anticipate. What time do they walk into the ring? Do you know?
To say it right, this is the usual thing, right? 4 o'clock ring walks allegedly. I'll believe that when I see it. It's Vegas time, isn't it? So I'm going. I still think it'll be about 4:45, 5 o'clock by the time they get through it. Saying that, look what happened with Joshua and Usyk. The undercard ran. It was all ticking along, and they were in early, weren't they? It was like, what was it, 5 to 10? They were doing the ring walks, which is relatively early for a UK card. But they had like one less on the undercard, which obviously ran the time quicker. They needed another fight, really. Fury came out to the Rocky 4 Creed entrance, didn't he? He should do Ivan Drago next. LOL, Logan and Jake might be there in attendance. Yeah, I won't put it past them. I'm sure they're going to be there. It's perfect for them, isn't it? For their brand, to be in amongst it all.
Oh, but yeah. Call some shit somewhere, can't they?
Has Ramel come in with anything?
No, Ramel hasn't come in. That's fine, Ramel. You can tell me privately how you think the fight's going to finish. Oh no, wait, he's here.
Oh, right, okay. Dern is gotten hot, but her chin is still in question. I would go to Rodriguez and then to the boxing Fury by the 7th. So yeah, We're in a round. No one's gone past round 7, have they? Everyone was between 4 and 7. Sorry, Stu. Wrestling question. What do you make of the possibility of having SummerSlam 2022? The only reason that's happening, because it got poo-pooed. Triple H said it wasn't going to happen for years. It's because AEW are going to run in the UK next year. So their hand's been forced.
Panicking now then, yeah?
That's what I ascertained from it on WWE's end. They're like, right, AEW doing it. We'll have to do it and make it bigger. You know, we'll bring SummerSlam as opposed to doing like a one-off show over here. It'd be interesting, but I think that's what's happened there. I think Mr.
Well, you've
Khan,
done it before, wouldn't you? Would you do it again?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I prefer to. I don't want to. I know we've got WWE media on it.
Fire it away. Say how you feel.
I'd love to go to the AEW show out of the 2. I've been to WrestleMania 7 times. Do you know what I mean? Great video, lads. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Sam, it's great having you on because I chat to Sam quite a bit now. So yeah, no good. No, thank you, mate. Thanks for watching.
Really
appreciate it. Anything in the comments before I get you to talk about your socials and what's happening with you, Chris? Oh, it's going to happen in Wales, mate. Yeah, I heard about the Principality in Cardiff. So it won't be Wembley, and they can close the roof at least.
But that's not even close to us. It's closer to London.
I ascertained that it's because obviously Tony Khan said, "Well, we're going to run, we're going to run a London show or a UK-based show on the tour."
It's the way it is, isn't it?
It's competition again. It's competition again in pro wrestling. But yeah,
and that's Chris, what you need, mate. Right? Yes. Come on, fire away.
What's happening? What's happening with you? Socials, where the viewers can find you.
Well, nothing currently, mate. Just me and you, Big Fight Weekly. I haven't got anything else on at the moment. Art of Fighting's taking a break, so that's what it is. Social-wise, you can find me on Instagram at VanHume86. You can find me on Twitter at VanHume. And you can find me and Stuart on Powered 4 Big Fight Weekly on Facebook. Again, we do say this every week. We are going to be working on a Twitter and Instagram page for you all to follow. But all the links to our page are all on the YouTube channel on this very page. If you go down, once we finish being live, all the links are there.
What game are you playing at the moment? I know you like your gaming. What's been?
You're going to like this one. Gas Station Simulator.
Right, okay. So you're driving trucks and stuff.
No.
Give us the premise of the game. Like
I've opened up a gas station on Route 66. It's well run.
Business.
So it's doing quite well. Apart from I keep getting people dressed as aliens every time they come into my shop because you've got to fill the shop, make it tidy. So you've got to keep brushing it, put the rubbish out, and they keep coming in making a mess, pissing me off. But they don't come in. It's on PC on Steam. It is, yeah. This game has been outselling a game that's just come out on PlayStation called Deathloop, which is a AAA game, massive. It's a really good game, but this is a small sort of simulator game that's outselling a AAA game, which is madness in this day and age. But I've got other games you're looking forward to, mate. I've got Jurassic Park Evolution, which is another simulator. Wow. These are these sort of things I like playing these days. I don't play FIFA or COD anymore. I still obviously Football Manager, which comes out November the 9th, so I'll be on that. But yeah, that's it, mate.
Now, I thought just do that with going to side because I know how much you love your games. I've been playing Tony Hawk's and Farm Simulator. These simulator games seems to be the in thing.
Mate, you don't understand, mate. Farming Simulator I've played it on the PlayStation, but it's better as a PC game. But simulator games are just rocketing, mate.
So yes, I've been Stuart Palmer, and interview with the GOC, the Garden of Chaos, is up live. Had a bit of a break, as I said last week, with the wrestling podcast. So yeah, you can find us with Stu's Wrestling Podcast across all the socials. Stewie P1 on the Twitter as well, trying to build that up a little bit. As Chris said, we are going to be having our own dedicated pages for Big Fight Weekly for Instagram and Twitter. Here he is, Ramel. We should play next time, Chris. You a game dude as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so mate. I'll send you my game tag, mate, and we'll hook up on that.
Have you seen the
replacement? You've started something now, Stu. You've started something now.
For Pro Evolution Soccer.
Looks not even called Pro Evo anymore. It's called eFootball. It's called eFootball, mate. And the what I'm seeing here, the pictures are dreadful, mate. It's like they all look like the faces are all melting. It's got such a bad review as well. They've changed it now, so it's not Pro Evolution Soccer. It's just eFootball. It's like
it's not
more of a mobile game now, yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember, you know, back in the early 2000s, like what we always used to play was Pro Evo. We didn't play FIFA, we played Pro Evo.
So that's it. Also, Keith Elliott Greenberg, who wrote for WWE, WWF magazine back in the day, did a lot of that. He's a New York bestseller, New York Times bestseller as well, author. He's worked as a broadcaster, CNN. So I've got him coming on as well. So a lot of wrestling talk with him this week when I get him on for episode 96 of the podcast. And Steve Muntman, great show, guys. Thank you very much, mate. We appreciate you watching us every week, as well as all you guys who've commented. Last, why do England crowd always sing Sweet Caroline? Just asking. It became a thing, didn't it? Became a
Darren
thing.
Till comes down to.
I'm Darren Till. It was all with.
I'm not 100% sure myself.
As you say, Darren Till had it.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, Stuart. Before everyone starts talking games, just get out of here.
We have been powered for .tv Big Fight Weekly. This was episode 32. Episode 33 next Monday at 4 o'clock sharp. We'll be back for everything post Fury and Wilder, UFC Fight Night as well. And we'll be leading into some stuff like previewing some fights as well. Because as Chris has said, a chocker November card for UFC, back-to-back with 267 and 268. We have been Powerful.tv. I've been Stuart Palmer with my co-host and cousin Chris Hume, and we'll see you next Monday.
See you next Monday.